So I was looking at the assignment for creating the card. Oh, this is homework 7, whatever. Creating the card objects, and I was reading through it, and this is what I thought of. So this is just how I'm thinking, and then I got down to this part, and I was like, oh, this is how the instructions want me to do it. So maybe later on we're going to use this. So it might be actually good to do stuff like this. So let's just talk about the thinking. Design a class called card that models a playing card. Decide what instance variables you will need for your class in order to play most card games. Okay, so actually, you don't have to decide. It's already decided for you. One is going to be an integer for the card value, and then the card name. So like if the value is 1, that would be an ace, maybe, right? Sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 11, whatever. I would consider it 1. And then if you had a value of 2, you could just say TWO for 2, or just 2 as a string. If its value was 8, and you would say 8, then you, like the name of, so this would be, the instance variables would be the value of the card, the name of the card, and the suit of the card. So here it would be the numbers 1 through 10. Ace would be 1, 2 would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jack would be 10, Queen would be 10, King would be 10. So that's the value. And then there's the name of the card. If it's a 1, then it's an ace. If it's 2, then it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If it's Jack, then it needs to say Jack, Queen, King, Ace. And then the suit. So those instance variables would be the value of the card, so card value or just value, name, and suit, it looks like. So I was reading through this and it was kind of confusing, so maybe this hopefully will clear it up a little bit. So those are your instance variables. You will need for your class include a zero argument constructor with appropriate and the appropriate multi-argument constructor. So this gives you a hint for that. Include a zero argument constructor. Oh, I just read that. It should also have a toString method to display all of the object's instance variables in a user-friendly format. This can be tricky. So the toString, I think I would say the value of the card is, and then print out the value. And then maybe a new line. The name of the card is, and then print out the name. That could be a string. This could be an integer, and this could also be a string. And then you'd say the suit of the card is whatever. So then that's an easy way to print out stuff. Then create an array called myHand, and this part shows you how to create the array. Except for it says that holds 5 cards, so this would be a 5 right here. Now it's 10 just to show you. This line of code is not doing exactly what it says. It's just like showing you how to do it. So create an array called myHand. So you say, okay, I'm going to create card. Put the little brackets that tells the compiler that yes, you want to create space for an array that holds card objects. You're going to call it myHand, and you're going to say equals new card, and then the number of cards that you want, the number of objects you want this array to hold. In this case, it's 10. You want that number to be 5. Below are lines of code that demonstrate how you can create an array of card objects and how you can place a card object into an array. So, it's on the same line here, but you'd probably do it in different lines in your driver class. You would say, okay, you want to create a card object, call it card 1 or first card or second card or whatever you want to call it, and then create a new card, so new card, and then use your multi-argument constructor. In this case, it'll be the 3-argument constructor, telling the value of the card, and then the name of the card, and then the suit of the card. Okay, and then to put it in an array, you can just by hand, you can go my hand in the 0 position, put in card 1, and then maybe create, well, I guess you need 5 cards, right? So create 5 cards. You do this line 5 times, except for with different information. So you create card 2, card 3, card 4, just like you're creating like integers x, integers y, integers z, blah, 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 blah. Except for you're creating these things with this information in there. And you'll go, my hand 0 gets card 1. My hand 1 gets card 2. My hand 2 gets card 3, and so on. And you just fill it all the way up. And then it says use a for loop to traverse the array of your cards and print each card using system.out.println. So maybe I'll do that. I'll show that real quick. I was doing it a different way, and then I realized what the heck these instructions actually wanted. So I'm going to get rid of all of this. So I was doing it differently, but then I realized what it actually wanted. So I'm just going to show the part, or part of it, for using a for loop to traverse the array of your cards and print each card using system.out.println. So I'm going to assume that I have my card class set up so that I can just do all this. So to create the for loop to traverse the array, I'll first do my for loop stuff, end for, and then we'll say int index gets 0, so we'll start it out at 0, and then we'll say while index is less than, and then we're thinking of our card array, which is my hand, so we can say my hand.length. Less than my hand.length. That gets the length of my hand, which is an array, if you wrote it properly, and that should be 5, right? Because we said that this number was 5, so it would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're saying this will change to a 5 when it evaluates. My hand.length will be 5, and we can continue on index plus plus. Okay, great. What is this doing now? Then it's saying, so we're traversing this array, and it says to use a for loop to traverse the array of your cards and print each card using system.out.println. So we already should have a toString method, so you should have taken care of that. And then to print it out, you would just do system.out.println, and then my hand index, right? Because index is going to be changing this entire time. And then it'll actually print out everything with a nice format based on your toString method. And I think, wait, should it be my, well, yeah, you've already created that. You'll have more than this. I'm just showing you the loop. So you'll have more than that in your main method. So let's think about this. Have I said all I wanted to say? You might want to add a new line just so you can have a space. This is just an idea. I don't know exactly how your toString method looks, but you might want to add a new line just so you have a space in between the printouts of the cards. So hopefully that was somewhat helpful. I don't want to give it all away, but there you go.